Did you know that some of the technologies we use every single day were actually invented decades before the public knew about them? I'm talking AI, electric vehicles, stealth aircraft, even things that feel brand new today. But the wild part? Many of these inventions were kept behind closed doors for 30 to 50 years. Today we're diving into things that seem modern, but are actually shockingly old. And I guarantee one of these is going to blow your mind. I'm Sunny, and this is Sunny Knows Stuff. AI is way older than you think. Most people think artificial intelligence was invented recently, maybe even in the last few years. But AI has actually been around for almost 80 years. The idea of thinking machines started in the 1940s when mathematician Alan Turing asked the question, can machines think? Then in 1956, something huge happened. A group of researchers met at the Dartmouth Conference and officially created the field of artificial intelligence. Their goals included teaching machines to solve problems, understand language, learn from experience, and even mimic human reasoning. By the 1960s and 70s, we already had early neural networks, pattern recognizing machines, and even primitive chatbots. So while mainstream AI exploded in 2022, the core ideas behind it are nearly a century old. China had e-bikes and futuristic phones in the 1990s. Here's a fun one most people don't know. China was riding electric bikes way before the rest of the world caught on. The first major wave of Chinese e-bikes appeared around 1995. And by the early 2000s, they already had millions of them. Meanwhile, in the US, electric bikes didn't become mainstream until about 2015. And smartphones? China didn't have iPhones yet, but they did have advanced touchscreen flip phones, internet phones, futuristic PDAs that America wouldn't see for another 5 to 10 years. GPS was a military secret. You know, GPS. That thing that keeps you from getting lost when your phone dies at 3% battery? Well, civilians didn't get true GPS until the year 2000. But the military? They had it starting in 1978. For 20 years, GPS was military only, heavily encrypted, used for submarine navigation, and used to guide missiles with shocking accuracy. When the public finally got access, it wasn't even accurate at first. The military blurred it on purpose. So yes, the world's most common navigational tool was a top-secret Cold War weapon. The stealth plane that didn't exist until it did. One of the coolest examples of hidden technology is the F-117 Nighthawk, the first true stealth aircraft. The US secretly built it in 1975. It flew missions in 1981. But the public? They didn't even know it existed until 1988. That's 13 years flying an invisible plane that officially didn't exist. The F-117 was so classified that even its pilots weren't told what it really looked like until they were approved to fly it. Imagine hiding an entire aircraft program for over a decade. The most surprising one, VR started in 1968. Here comes the one that surprises even tech experts. Most people think virtual reality started with the Oculus around 2013. Nope. The first real virtual reality headset was called the Sword of Damocles, and it was invented in 1968. It was so massive, it had to be bolted to the ceiling just to keep from crushing your head. It tracked your movement, projected 3D environments, and it basically did everything modern VR does, just with the 1960s hardware. By the 1980s, the US military was already using VR for flight simulators, combat training, vehicle control, and early drone interfaces. So while VR feels like a future invention, it's actually older than nearly every video game console ever made. So what did we learn today? AI is older than most of your grandparents. China was using electric vehicles in the 90s. GPS was a Cold War weapon. Stealth jets flew in total secrecy, and virtual reality has been around longer than home computers, video games, and the modern internet. If you want more weird, wild, and wonderful facts, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me which facts shocked you the most. I'm Sunny, and now you know stuff too.